Hi everyone, this is Erika. Welcome to another episode of My Bit. So today I'm going to be doing part 2 of my Q&A. So I'm going to have about 3 or 4 more people I'm going to be answering questions for, depending on how many questions there are. So let's see what we've got. Alright. Let's start with Enjoy the Peace 96. What will be your next big collector's edition game purchase? You know, the first one that comes to mind is definitely Final Fantasy X HD, but we don't even know if we're going to be getting that this year. I would like to think so. And I know that's not going to be really big, like not nearly as big as, let's say, for Tales of Xillia, but I think that Etrian Odyssey Untold, the Millennium Girl, Disgaea D2 probably as well, and I don't know, that's all I can really think of right now. I tend to get a lot of JRPGs though. I'm mostly excited for those, definitely. I'm sure Watch Dogs is going to have a really cool one too, so I'm probably going to grab that as well. I don't just get JRPGs, although I do prefer just getting the JRPG collector's editions, but it depends, you know, it depends, so we'll see. What game genre is your least favorite? RTSs. I suck at them. I have nothing against the genre, nothing against it, but I suck at them. What game series do you wish you could or want to get into? I think this would have been a better question if I was younger, because then I would have said the Tales series, because I could not get into them. I watched friends play, but I could never get into it myself because I was so scared of action RPGs. Which is interesting because I grew up playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts. I'm not so much into Kingdom Hearts now. I know, I'm sorry if anyone hates me right now for that, because I know Remix did just come out. But yeah, I don't know, I didn't have the best experience with that game in its genre. Well, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story and the characters. I didn't really enjoy the combat, so it really deterred me from wanting to play more in the genre. However, I think Tales has kind of converted me back a little bit ago. So, yeah, I didn't really answer that question so well. I guess now I just pick up and play a game. More than anything, I just pick up and play, which is all cool. It all works. It all works. Why not, right? You never know what you might find, what you might end up loving. Favorite element of magic? Water. Definitely water. I'm a water type in the zodiac, so I don't know if it's akin to that, but perhaps. What retro game deserves to be remade? None of them. None. I know some do a really great job of it, but some don't. Like when I did my review on Flashback HD at Retroware, I was really disappointed. I feel like I was breaking up with it. I was just so disappointed. But then you look at games like DuckTales, and that's a really great example. So I think it really depends, but I'd rather not take the chance. Do you have a favorite MMO? No. I like games that act like MMOs, like .hack. I love that series so much. I'm very fascinated by the idea of an offline MMO. However, I'm not so much into MMOs, mostly because I get really addicted to games when I play and I just don't stop. Like with Xillia, I was just playing it non-stop, like a good 8 hours every session, or around there if I had the time to. So I really don't want to. I really want to play Final Fantasy XIV. Realm Reborn, very much so, like very, very, very much so, but I'm worried it's going to eat up a lot of my time. I don't know what would happen, to be honest, so I'm trying to steer clear, but I'm really, really, really tempted. Okay, so next up is the Completionist, who I mentioned in my last video. Alright, what do you have for me? What do you consider your best video game with regards to your own personal skill, or even better yet, what is one video game you can consistently kick your boyfriend's ass at? Okay. Well, I would say when I play Zhao Yu in Tekken, then I definitely kick his ass. I definitely kick Brad's ass. I'm just very good at playing her, it seems. I'm not trying to talk myself up by any means, but I've always had a lot of luck with her, and I tend to pwn Brad with that. Also, I'd like to think I'm better at shmups than he is, or shoot 'em ups, because I know some people don't like the word shmups. Yeah, I think I'm better at weaving than he is. I know he might beg to differ, but I think I'm better at shoot 'em ups than he is in Tekken. But then at the same time, of course, he can pwn me at a lot of stuff too. So it's half and half. There's a balance there. If you cook, what do you consider your best cooking dish? I cannot cook. However, I can make a really tasty snack called puppy chow, where it's just Chex Mix and melted chocolate and peanut butter and powdered sugar. And I think you can just imagine how amazing this stuff is, and there's obviously no additives, you just make it yourself. It's very delicious. It's not good for you at all. I'm good at making things that aren't good for you, but in terms of things that are good for you, not so much. I do make some pretty good smoothies too, but yeah, I'm not much of a cook. I don't really like cooking, to be honest. I'd rather have Brad do it for me, so oops. Yeah, I feel for you, Brad. What is the hardest boss battle you've ever put yourself through and actually beat? Okay, that's pretty good. I know Final Fantasy Tactics had quite a few really challenging battles that might not have seemed like they were going to be. I believe it was with Y-Graph. It was a one-on-one between Ramza and Y-Graph. I don't remember what castle we were in at the time, but we were fighting one-on-one. It was a very short battle, but it was extremely hard, and I know a lot of people have considered it to be a very challenging battle considering its length, really. It's more a matter of outlasting your foe, and he is definitely a tough customer. So that one was one I was very proud of, although there's many other battles in the middle of and in the beginning of Final Fantasy Tactics I'm quite proud of, even if they're not necessarily boss battles. It's a very hard game. Very hard game. I'd also maybe say Omega Weapon in Final Fantasy VIII. I know that in today's standards it's probably not one of the hardest, but it was a very challenging fight, and it was actually a very fun fight as well. I didn't much care for Final Fantasy VIII. I found the battle system to be quite broken, to be honest. The draw system, you were able to boost your stats like crazy, and while I know you didn't have to do that, if you're given the liberty to, then, you know, why not? But even then, it's still a very challenging fight. I would also say the same with Ozma. While Ozma might not necessarily, this is from Final Fantasy IX, sorry, while it's not necessarily a very hard battle if you know what you're doing, it can be a very challenging one if you're going in with cold feet. So I am quite proud of those ones. Now, let's see. I have a question from both 123 Hellstorm and Utwi. Are you planning on getting the new Retron 5 console? How do you feel about clone systems such as the Retro Duo or the Retron 3 or I guess the Retron 5? I'm totally cool with them, to be honest. You know, whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. If you like them, then go ahead. You know, like I said, whatever works for you. I know that consoles can be quite expensive and you can't always find them in thrift stores, as I've mentioned in a past video, especially ones like the Super Nintendo. Like, Nintendos are very easy to come by there, and Genesis. Model 1 and Model 2 are very easy to come by there, but in terms of Super Nintendo, not so much, and only every now and again you can come across other consoles as well, right? It just depends on the console itself. However, yeah, I mean, I have nothing against it. In terms of the Retron 5, I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up. I already have the original consoles themselves, so it's not a necessary thing. It's really great for doing Let's Plays. However, I don't really do Let's Plays, you know, if you've checked out my channel, so it may be something I'm going to consider in the future, but it's not something I really need right now. So I hope you enjoyed. I have many more questions coming up, so do stay tuned for a part 3. They keep on coming, so please ask me more. These are really fun to do, by the way, so yes, I like them. Very fun. It's a nice way to kind of reflect on my own gaming history and then maybe help you reflect on your own as well. So please stay tuned for another video very soon. I am going to have a Retro Renegade coming up sometime soon. I'm really hoping so. It's just a bit of preparation going on right now, and then I also have another special video that I'm not going to talk about just yet, but I do have some cool things coming up. So please stay tuned and enjoy. Alright, peace.